Hey everybody, it's me, TechNicol. I'm here with the Q&A that I told you guys I was going to do. I basically had a bunch of notes in front of me on my laptop with all the questions and everything, and I'm just kind of going down the list here and there. So yeah, with that being said, we're basically just going to get into it. Question number 1, what is your writing process? So my writing process is a lot of natural feeling, to be honest. It's kind of weird. I don't know how other people really write, like if you just sit down and actually go bar by bar. I'm assuming that's how it's really done, but I kind of learned late. I didn't really learn musically. I do it all by feel. I'll find a beat off YouTube, or someone sends me a beat that I really like, and it's got to really fit my mood and how I'm feeling. So I get this beat uploaded onto, I use Cubase. But whatever you use, I'll upload it onto there, and then I put a loop either on the hook or the verse, first verse, second verse. Sometimes I'll jump in the middle of the song just because I know that I want something in that section for whatever reason, the instruments or that feeling that it's giving me. Like, I'll just start wherever I'm feeling inspired. So anyways, I get that loop going, and I'll just start freestyling out loud a couple words, a couple lines. If I like it, then I'll keep going, but I keep that loop on. I'll even stop the loop, start it back, and let it play through again. And maybe I'll have 4 lines started, and I might play through it 3 times with nothing, but then, you know, maybe I get 4 more lines that 4th time through it, and then I kind of build off it like that. And I like doing it this way because it helps me push a song out a little bit quicker, as by the time I'm done with the whole song, I've got half of it already memorized in my head. So I don't need lyrics when I go and record, which makes it sound a lot more natural sounding when I go in there and get that actually recorded. Next question. Do you have any goals for 2020 or any New Year's resolutions? Well, first off, I don't really like the term New Year's resolution because I feel like that's always been thrown around as something that everybody knows you're not gonna do. Like, everybody, you know, the whole gym thing. Everybody's like, oh, I'm going to the gym and losing weight, and like 1% of people go to the gym and lose weight. Let's be like, they might go like the first week, first month, but everybody falls off. So I don't really like even going down that road with the New Year's resolution. As for goals, social media, I really want to not take any breaks. That's something that's really set me back, especially this past year. I took maybe 7 or 8 breaks from social media, and I lost a lot of people that were following me and were interacting and were keeping me up, just out of my own anxiety, you know, just freaking myself out, overthinking things, overthinking the situation. So I want to not take any breaks. On top of that, I want to grow my pages between Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram. So those 3, I would like to get anywhere between 25,000 and 50,000 total followers or monthly listeners on Spotify. However, I just want to get a good combination, a good solid fan base, a good foundation going. That's a big goal of mine for 2020. Okay, so next question. When are you going to do a show again? I hope soon. I really do. I really love getting on stage. I love grabbing that mic. It's something that I've really been able to capture a feeling when I grab that mic that, hey, this is my time and these people in front of me are going to listen to me, and I have 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the show, to give my best and my all. And a lot of times I win over a lot of people that didn't have high expectations or judge me instantly by my looks or whatever the case may be. I've won a lot of people over with my live shows, not even knowing who I am or listening to my music prior. So that's been pretty cool. When I'm going to have another one, it sucks because as a new artist, I just haven't had luck. Like, you know, I'm emailing venues, trying to reach out to venues, trying to call venues, and I just haven't had any luck getting anyone to call me back or email me back. So I'm just gonna stay consistent on it, stay looking for new ones, maybe even start going out in public to some of these places and see even if I can find the manager or the owner of the venue and try to talk to them, meet them, things like that. But as soon as I have more shows, you guys are gonna be the first to know, trust me. Okay, name a celebrity you would like to do a collab with. I'm assuming by like a celebrity, you mean like a famous artist or whatever. I can't choose one, and I'm going to keep them all as rappers. There's a couple other artists that I might put in my top 10 or so, but the top 5 is what I'm going to give you, and they're all rappers. So in order, 5 would be MGK, 4 would be G-Eazy, 3 would be Joyner Lucas, 2 would be NF, and number 1 has to be Eminem. You can see him back there flipping you guys off in that poster. But those 5 have been such an inspiration throughout my coming up and my learning how to do this and wanting to do this, that it would just mean the world to me to have a track with them. And you know, it doesn't need to be anything crazy, doesn't need anything, you know, mind-boggling, insane, like simple, just track to bump in the fucking whip. You know, that's kind of all I'm looking for in that regard. But yeah, those would be my 5. What inspired you to start making music / how did you start rapping? So a couple questions that I got a couple times. I'm kind of just going to lump them in together. It was a lot of stuff from early on in my life. I got bullied a lot in school, and then when I got home, my dad was an alcoholic and things were pretty bad at home. I never really got physically abused much. It was a lot of mental and emotional shit. I was really overweight as a kid. That's where a lot of my bullies got their, you know, reason to bully me, I guess. And in turn, it kind of changed me as a person too, because I got all this hate around me from school and at home, that I started thinking that's how you treat other people. So as a kid especially, and then growing up, I was mean to a lot of people that I didn't necessarily mean to be mean to. I didn't know any better. Like, that's all I knew, was this hatred that people had been showing me. So like, I grew up surrounded by hate. So like, all I knew was to give hate. The only person that like didn't hate was my mom. And seeing so many people hating and then her not hating it, I didn't know what the difference really was, you know, growing up and being so young. My mind was seriously skewed. So when I got to about, I was 16, 17 years old, I started getting help for my depression and anxiety and things like that. And that's when I really found those core problems that I had for myself. And even then, that's not what really brought me into music, but it was something that helped me start progressing myself and building a little bit of self-confidence. I never thought I could do music. I never thought I could be somebody that gets on stage. I didn't think I could be somebody that rapped. I just wasn't that person. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not me. For whatever reason, that's what I thought. So fast forward a few years, and I had a day job. There was a career that I was starting. We'll get more into that later. And then I had a girlfriend at the time. And I thought everything was going really well up until 2016-ish, and midway through there, within a month, I kind of lost all 3 of those things. And a wire in my head completely snapped. I started doing something that's not really me. I never was into real hard drugs or anything, but I was popping some Vicodins. And I wasn't, like I said, I don't do that much. So I remember one night, it was in June 2016, I was taking a bunch of Vicodins. I took like 4 right off the bat. An hour later, I took 2 more. And then like within the next 2 hours, I took 2 more. It doesn't sound like a lot, but my body, even with like THC products, like I've always been really sensitive to those kind of things. So anyways, within probably 5 hours total of taking all those, I laid down on the couch and I wanted to finish the rest of my pill bottle, right? Because I was messed up in the head, man. At that time, I was going through such a dark spot. I wanted to finish. There was like 4 or 5 left. I'm like, I'm gonna try to finish those. Well, I ended up like I experienced something. I was laying down on the couch and I remember I was looking straight up into the sky, into the ceiling. And as I was laying there, my eyes slammed shut. And I just felt myself unable to move. Like, I wanted to move. I wanted to open my eyes. I wanted to move my mouth. I wanted to move my arms, move my legs, but I couldn't. It was like I was paralyzed. It was nutty. So I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden I get this weird sensation that my body is being lifted up. My like soul, my spirit, whatever, is being lifted up out of me. I'm not religious. Still I'm not. But like, I was telling myself in that moment, you're dying. You're on your way to whatever is awaiting you after this, and you're going to be dead. And like, I was telling myself it's okay and talking myself through it. And then boom, pitch black. I woke up the next morning and I was in shock. I had no idea what happened. It was insane. But I decided that if I was truly given that second chance, and that's truly what that was, that I needed to do something more. And what I thought I could do is something like Eminem was able to do, and inspire people through writing, through creative process, inspire people to chase their dreams. You know, this life is so short that inspiration to get somebody to go chase something that they weren't going to do before, but they really, really wanted to do it, but someone told them they couldn't, or they shouldn't, or this or that. And like, if I'm the reason that you go chase your dreams, even if it's just one person out of the 7 billion in the world, then I've lived a pretty goddamn good life at the end of the day. I really believe that. So that's kind of what inspired me to keep making this inspirational, motivational music. Okay. This is kind of a long question. Ties right into the last one, because I told you guys I had a career that I started before making music. This was asked by a real close personal friend of mine, and he knows I don't really like to talk about it much because it does hurt me a little bit. He asked, do you think you were better with Everyday Grow or TechNicol? Everyday Grow was the career that I had prior, and basically I was growing legal medical cannabis under the 2008 Michigan Medical Marijuana Code. This allowed me to be a caregiver and also have patients under me and have a certain number of plants, blah, 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 blah. It was a huge passion of mine. I designed my grow rooms to my own specifications using knowledge that I researched myself. I had investors that got into this with me. I got really deep into it. Basically what happened was, like I kind of jumped on last time, I kind of lost my job and then lost my girl, and then I basically snapped. And after she was all gone and all that shit, like I felt like I had everything before and lost everything, and I just turned off the lights in both rooms, and I legitimately went in there with a machete and cut all the trees down, cut all my plants down. I call them trees because they were huge. And even right now, I'm getting a little nervous talking about this because they were my babies. I talked to them, they grew beautifully for me. And it's something that I really want to do in the future as well. It's just wrong timing, I think, right now. But back to the question, I honestly think I'm better with TechNicol. And the reason being is that if I didn't go through Everyday Grow, and I didn't have all those obstacles to overcome, and I didn't lose something so close to my heart and something so expensive to me that I had to pay back all those investors. I'm still paying back a little bit of it. If I didn't go through all that, I might not value music and the money that I'm putting into music and the potential outcome of music and those kind of things. I might not value it the same way, and I might not push myself as hard if I didn't fail so significantly once before. And I call it a failure because I'm not growing cannabis anymore. Whereas if I were still growing, then it would just be a learning curve. But I did fail that. I failed Everyday Grow. I failed my investors, and I'm okay to admit that. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. But I learned so many unteachable lessons from Everyday Grow. I'll never be able to replace that. Is it true you had a fan get TechNicol tattooed on her ass? Get a TechNicol tattoo on her ass. No, that is not true. That is completely false. But I got two friends, Nick and Brad, shout out to you boys, who told me that they would be down to get a TechNicol crown logo tattoo on somewhere on their body. You know, I'm just talking about a little small one, but I wanted to get one, and they said they would get one too, so that'd be sick. And also, if anybody else wants to get one, I'll give you free VIP to all my shows for life. I mean, that is nuts. If you get anything TechNicol related tattooed on you, send that shit to me. I'll put you on some kind of list or something, and you'll be VIP free for life. Question 8. What instruments do you currently play or would you love to learn? I actually don't play any instruments right now. I used to play the alto sax going through school. Alto, whatever. Going through school. I didn't value it as much as I should have. And I really regret that. I wish I put more time in it. I wish I put more effort into it. I was too worried about getting bullied every day, and that kind of like affected how I viewed a lot of things with school. So maybe one day I'll get back into it. I kind of like remember some of the keys and shit like that. I don't know how well I would do, but I want to learn the piano 1000%. I started in 2017 actually playing around a little bit and started teaching myself a couple songs and things like that. And then I kind of fell off and never got back on it. You can see I got a keyboard back there. I would really love the piano because that's something that if I could play the piano and sing a song to you guys or something, like, that's honestly a goal of mine. Like, I love the piano. Okay, so I got into editing the clips, and the Q&A went a little bit longer than I wanted it to. So I'm going to stop things right here. It's about 15 minutes in, and the second half of the video is about 15 minutes as well. So I'm going to give you that probably Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll give me something else to post. And I didn't want to overwhelm you guys with too much of a question and answer about me. So I'm going to give you guys a little break, a little time to digest. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. You know, drop a comment below if you want to hear something else. If you want to see a different kind of video. I want to do more things like live freestyles, acapellas, behind the lyrics of certain songs. If there's a song that you really like the lyrics to, and you want me to do a behind the lyrics video for that, go ahead and drop that down below. Make sure you guys subscribe. And that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.